Good morning, degenerates, and welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto I.O., the place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday, just so you don't have to. My name is not important, and I'm your host, LFG. In case you didn't know, after we got done with our video yesterday, the SEC sued Coinbase. So starting off with the news today, Coinbase CEO responds to SEC suit, says team is confident in fact and law. SEC lawsuit claims Binance US Changpeng Zhao CZ put customer funds at significant risk. U.S. Financial Services Committee sets date to discuss future of crypto. To the market. Current market cap sitting at 1.114 trillion. Bitcoin dominance sinks to 46.4%. ETH dominance up at 20.1%. And gas down to 21 Gwei will get you an ETH transaction. Yeah, guys, in case you didn't know, in case you missed it, whatever, if you've been hiding under a rock, I don't know. Literally, as soon as we got done with our video yesterday, and I got it posted, breaking news, Coinbase got sued. Funny story though, on that news, we bottomed and Bitcoin bounced, and so did the rest of the market. So we're gonna talk about that. Bitcoin up 4% on the day. Ethereum holding strong at 2.69% on the day. Definitely showing strength against Bitcoin right now. I talked about this, I think it was yesterday. Probably the best risk to reward ratio I know of in the space right now. Safe play with potential for a very good return on your money. Something to think about in the future coming up the next bull run. On top of that, XRP moving steadily, 3.79% up on the day. Cardano getting hit. Cardano, you know what's interesting about Cardano? After watching it for the better part of 4 years, 5 years, 5 years. Cardano doesn't move with the market. It will a little bit, but Cardano will really move at its own pace. It's very random. At the start of the parabolic part of the bull cycle last run, I was holding a significant bag of Cardano. And everything was flying off the handle, and I was getting some serious FOMO. Like, dude, Cardano is not moving with the market. Do I get out? What do I do? Because everything else was pumping. I was seeing 30, 40, 50, 100% gains around me on all sorts of stuff. And Cardano wasn't doing anything. And then out of nowhere, when the market calmed down, Cardano took off. Man, allergies, guys. I am so sorry with the sniffing and the it's like a pig back here. Anyway, it's something to think about. It's really interesting. Dude, a sub 30-cent Cardano would be very attractive. But right now, with a 10% decline in Cardano right now, I'm probably gonna load it with more. I'm just being honest. Something to think about as well. Matic down 10% on the week. Definitely not a bad buy. Yeah, that's what we're looking at across the board. Definitely some good bounces. With that being said, let's go to the charts real quick, or at least to Bitcoin, and I'll show you what I've been looking at. Nothing has changed in my opinion, guys. Even with the news, even with everything, I'm gonna show you exactly what we're staring at right now. Remember, I've been talking about this for a little over a week now, maybe a little bit longer. That's your range, guys. Don't pay attention to this down here. Don't pay attention to this up here. Don't pay attention to this down here. These are all fake outs, all right? Bear trap, bull trap, bear trap. So, I mean, and if you really want to get super, super technical, that's your range. Even more technical, we'll tighten it up. That's all we're doing, guys. These are all traps. And this is what I've been talking about. All I see is sideways movement with, potential new swings, weekend swings, etc., etc. But we're ranging. We're just ranging. So yesterday, we found a bottom just below this, just below 26, basically. We'll call it 26. And again, the only reason this is a green line is because this was my last buy order, and that was, again, like I've told you guys from the get-go, that wasn't like any magical number I picked. It was random. I was front running, I think I was front running 25.5, so I picked 25.8 as a buy-in. So right around that area, we found a bottom, and then we pumped again, even off of the Coinbase news. But we ran all the way up to, and again, not even a significant number on purpose, but around this 23.10, which was another buy order of mine. And I was front running this 27.29 dip back a while back somewhere. I forget. Doesn't matter. Point is, this is our top. And right now, this is our huge bottom, is what I'm looking at. But if we're ranging, if you're playing the swings, this is your range, guys. You're buying here, you're selling here. Buying here, selling here. If you're playing leverage, you can make some substantial money with this play right now. But again, I'm not openly trading, guys. This isn't even a trading channel. I just like to talk about what I'm looking at. I have to say this every day. This isn't financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor. Do your own research. This is just for entertainment purposes. Crypto is heavily volatile, etc., etc. But until we break 27,310, we'll just call it 27,310, and then again until we get above, I'll tell you what, until we get above this low volume node right here and get back into this other ranging box, so above 28.9, this could be a heavily volatile area. I mean, it has been heavy volatility here. I mean, look at this. Heavily volatile, etc., etc. So this range right in here, from this 27,310 all the way up to 28.9, is a pump area. If we break, we could run all the way up. So I mean, these are good places to get in. If we bounce, get retests, etc., etc., things like that. Outside of that, I'm just looking at us ranging, guys, until Bitcoin or the market makes a decision. And here's another thing to think about too. We might be in that time of the transition between bear cycle to bull cycle that Bitcoin has done since its inception, where we get bored to death and just move sideways for the next 4, 5, 6 months. You'll hear a lot of the other big traders talk about it, things like that. So it's something to think about. But that's all I'm looking at, guys. I'm not seeing anything. All I see is a shakeout here, a bear trap. Hopefully you didn't sell at this. Hopefully you potentially bought right here. But that's it, guys. That's all I got for you for Bitcoin today. Outside of that, let's get on the news and get you on with the rest of your day. Coinbase CEO responds to the SEC suit, says team is confident in facts and law. In a social media post, Brian Armstrong said he thinks the SEC rules are unclear and that the courts need to make rulings to clarify them, which is funny. And now the thing you're going to see across social media, across the news, etc., is what's interesting is that the SEC approved Coinbase to go public, and then in 2023 is now hitting them with a lawsuit. And what you're hearing a lot of people talk about, including myself, is what the SEC is trying to do is, as opposed to attacking crypto projects individually, which is expensive and a war they are not winning, they're now going to attack the biggest exchanges to basically use that as a way of going after these individual projects. And that's why they list these projects and attack the exchange and say, you've been selling or brokering unregistered securities. etc., etc. So, moving on with story. Sorry about that. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong responded publicly to the United States Securities and Exchange Commission lawsuit against his company, stating in a tweet that the team is confident in our facts and the law, and that it welcomes the chance to finally get some clarity around crypto rules in court. Brian Armstrong rocking what looks like a punk. The SEC filed suit against crypto exchange Coinbase on June 6th, alleging that the company has been operating a securities exchange, broker dealership, and clearinghouse without registering with the commission. In its filing, it argued that 13 different cryptocurrencies sold by Coinbase fit the definition of securities, including Cardano, Solana, Matic, Filecoin, and others. This is what I've been saying. Instead of going after these projects individually, which is a losing battle for the SEC, they're now attacking the exchanges, saying that it's the exchange's fault for listing these quote-unquote unregistered securities. In his Twitter response, Armstrong claims the lawsuit against Coinbase is very different from others out there. It is exclusively focused on what is or is not a security. This makes the team confident in our facts and the law. He claimed that the U.S. government can't even agree with itself as to which cryptocurrencies are securities, as the SEC and CFTC have made conflicting statements. Armstrong expressed hope that the court proceedings will allow crypto exchanges to finally get clarity on how to comply with securities laws. He also praised recent attempts by Congress to pass crypto legislation, stating that this is why the U.S. Congress is introducing new legislation to fix the situation. The response from Armstrong is the latest in a series of legal filings and public statements between the exchange and the SEC since March. Coinbase received a Wells notice from the SEC on March 22nd, stating that the regulator may pursue enforcement actions. In response, the exchange issued a statement from its legal team on April 19th, claiming that the SEC's possible enforcement was not supported by law or within the bounds of the Commission's authority. A Wells notice does not begin legal proceedings. It only serves to notify a firm of a potential lawsuit. On April 25th, Coinbase's legal team went on the offensive by preemptively filing suit against the securities regulator. In the suit, it alleged that the SEC had failed to provide clear rules for crypto exchanges in a timely manner, including rules that distinguish between cryptocurrencies that are or are not securities. The SEC responded by arguing for dismissal on May 5th, and Coinbase filed a I don't even know how to pronounce that, mandamus reply in support of its suit against the SEC on May 23rd. Because Coinbase filed its suit against the SEC on April 25th, the SEC filed suit against Coinbase on June 6th. Both organizations are now embroiled in two separate legal proceedings against each other. Also, with that being said, there was a tweet or a rumor floating around that CZ is willing to put up $1 billion to fight the SEC. A statement I heard from somebody, which is very factual, is that if they are willing to set aside $1 billion to fight the SEC, they could literally hire every lawyer in the country to fight for them. Something to think about. Moving on, SEC lawsuit claims Binance US CZ put customer funds at significant risk. How about you, SEC? Are you not putting customer funds at risk by going after these people when these prices tank? Right. One of the latest SEC filings in its lawsuit against Binance claims billions of customers' funds are at the mercy of Binance CZ. CEO CZ. United States Securities Exchange Commission has filed another document in its lawsuit against Binance US, claiming that investor funds are at risk. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a stupid statement. It's trading. Your funds are always at risk. That's what makes the potential gains able to happen. You're putting your money at risk. In a filing entered on June 5th, the regulators claimed that the defendants, including Binance CEO CZ, BAM Management, BAM Trading, and Binance, have enriched themselves by billions of US dollars while placing investors' assets at significant risk. It goes on to say that defendants made purposeful efforts to bypass US regulatory oversight while providing securities-related services to US users. This puts the safety of billions of dollars of U.S. investors' capital at risk. And at Binance's and CZ's mercy. A report from CNBC claims that the amount cited by the SEC goes as high as $2.2 billion. The filing offers an example of billions of US dollars of customer funds from both Binance and Binance US being commingled in an account operated by a Zhao-controlled entity, which is identified as Merit Peak Limited. Said funds were then transferred to a third party, apparently in connection with the purchase and sale of crypto assets. According to regulators, the arrangement has given and continues to provide CZ free reign over billions in deposited assets on the Binance US platform with no oversight or controls to ensure that the assets are properly secured. At the time of writing, Binance US has said that the users' funds on the platform remain safe amid the SEC's attempts to freeze assets. On June 6th, U.S. regulators filed a motion for a restraining order against Binance due to the mishandling of users' funds and operating unregistered securities. The freezing of assets was one of the requested actions included in the motion. So this is what's interesting, right? The U.S. says that Binance and CZ are taking depositors' funds and doing whatever they want with them and holding on to them and basically holding them hostage. So what they want to do is freeze those funds and keep you as an investor from taking it off of the exchange. Well, wait, what? Nah, it's all bullshit because they're trying to get a cut of it. That's all it is. The freezing of assets was one of the requested actions included in the motion. In its lawsuit against Binance and Coinbase, the regulator labeled at least 67 different cryptocurrencies as securities. This affects more than $100 billion worth of tokens in the market. It's bullshit, guys. They're trying to get a bunch of money. That's all the U.S. wants to do right now. That's all this government regulator body wants to do. They want money. The financials, because they're, first of all, they don't want crypto to succeed because, they want the banks to continue ruling and governing over our money and our lives, etc., etc. And they're losing power. They're losing their grasp on that. So what they're going to try and do, in my opinion, is to control as much crypto money as they can. It's greedy, scary, elitist shit, man. I don't know what else to say. I hate that word elitist, but globalists, just people with psychopathic control issues. I'm rambling. I'm sorry, guys. Let's just get the last story done and get you out of here. U.S. Financial Services Committee sets date to discuss future of crypto. U.S. House of Representatives Committee did not disclose all the topics for discussion, but the community expects the hearing to address critical issues in the space. The United States House of Representatives Financial Services Committee has scheduled a hearing on crypto to discuss its future and provide clarity for the digital asset ecosystem. On June 6th, Representative Patrick McHenry, the House Financial Services Committee chairman, announced a full committee hearing titled The Future of Digital Assets, Providing Clarity for the Digital Asset Ecosystem. The hearing is scheduled for June 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, according to the committee. The hearing will be live streamed on the website. Hearing notice: The Future of Digital Assets, Providing Clarity for the Digital Asset Ecosystem. About fucking time? Excuse my language. So on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. June 13th, if you guys want to watch it. I'm assuming it'll be on some channel. The Financial Services Committee oversees the country's economy through its supervision of individual reserve banks and Federal Reserve Board, the United States Treasury, the capital markets, and currency production and distribution. While the committee did not provide more detailed information about what will be discussed in the hearing, members of the crypto community are hoping it will address some of the most pressing issues in the space. A Twitter user commented that addressing what they described as coordinated attacks on the crypto exchange would be good, referring to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, a recent lawsuit against Binance and U.S.-based exchange Coinbase. Meanwhile, Gary Gensler's posting happy birthday to the SEC posts on Twitter yesterday, as well as just random BS about just prideful, hey, look at me, I'm suing Binance because I'm the do-gooder of this. Like, while everyone in like the comments on Twitter are just bashing him for doing a terrible job, for being a hack, for being a bullshitter, and he's like sitting in his own room, like looking at himself in the mirror, going, "I'm the guy. I'm doing so good." It's the weirdest thing ever. Meanwhile, other community members have called on the committee to keep SEC Chair Gary Gensler in check. A community member believes the SEC chief has disregarded what has been discussed in previous hearings. The announcement follows a recent U.S. House of Representatives Agriculture Committee hearing on June 6. A hearing was held titled "The Future of Digital Assets: Providing Clarity for Digital Assets Spot Markets." There, the committee also discussed the future of digital assets, specifically the draft bill authored by McHenry and House AG Committee Chair Representative Glenn Thompson. So we'll see what happens, guys. I think it's, what did it say on 2 p.m. June 13th, right there. Yeah, it said something about it being live, so it'd be interesting to watch, see what they say. The weirdest thing about all this stuff is usually when I see these, no one from the crypto space is in there talking about this. It's a bunch of people in Congress that want to act like they know anything about the space, but when you listen to them talk, you kind of get the vibe that you're like, you have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. And that's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate because we're out here living in the space and they're not bringing any people like us in there. They're just making up rules and laws based on what they believe and think crypto is, or it's all a charade, it's all an act, and they already have a plan and agenda, which sounds so conspiracy theorist, but it's really starting to look that way. And none of it really matters. It's all a charade. I don't know. But guys, that's all I've got for you today. Let's look at Bitcoin one last time. Get a doji candle. How much time till it's close this? Ooh, 12 minutes. That's an interesting candle. This is the 4 hour too. What's this look like on the 1 hour? Range, guys. From the top to the bottom. To the top to the bottom. Let's see what it does. Back to the 4 hour. Yeah. Doji candle, something like that. Indecision in the market. 11 minutes and 26 seconds to the close of this candle. Let's see what it does. Guys, outside of that, per usual, if you do enjoy... God, I can't talk. I don't know what it's like. I don't know if like I need to have my teeth fixed or whatever, but when I start doing these videos, I slur my words. I have a lisp. I do all sorts of weird stuff. I don't know what it is. Whatever. Outside of that, guys, if you do enjoy the content that I provide for you here every morning on Boring Crypto IO, please by all means subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos on your social platforms if you think the content is worth sharing. It helps the channel immensely, please. And I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. See, I just did it again. I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I am a fool. I'm out of here.